Good evening everybody. This is just a short video this time with some of my Perry's Battle in a Box Confederate infantry. I must admit I didn't get round to the Union troops really, maybe a unit or so, but and cavalry, but I started off with the Confederates, thinking that they would be the most difficult and time consuming to do, and so it proved, trying to get the combination of Confederate grey butternut and many other colours that they would have been wearing. Worked out okay, I think. I was quite pleased with them. It was one of those subjects that I'd never been madly interested in, but the Perry's Battle in a Box was very tempting, and I gave it everything I possessed in terms of trying to paint them as well as I could. The flags again are by Maverick Models. They're cloth, and they tend to, I think, actually really come out well. With a little bit of water-based glue, they tend to they get all the folds, and it looks quite realistic, I think. I've got the unit in the middle there has got a few Louisiana Tigers, the famous unit. I gave the striped trousers my best shot, but I don't know, I went for complicated rather than accurate, and hope for the best really. The other units, as I say, I've got a few checkered shirts in there, and a few different browns and greens, and just trying to mix it up a little bit. I think the units were the Texas and the Georgians and the Alabamans. I can't remember which are which at the moment, but they've got a Confederate general there. As I say, they were quite a pleasure to paint, but as a few of the lads on here have mentioned, when it comes to the Union, you're tending to just knock them out fairly rapidly. Pale blue trousers, dark blue jackets. When it comes to the Rebs, it's a slightly different story. You've got to make them look random, and therein lies the difficulty. It's you have to struggle against your own mind to try and get them looking random, and the tendency is to want to do predominantly grey or brown, and you've got to fight against that instinct to try and trying to mix it up a little bit. There's 61st Virginia there. As I say, horses not my strong point, but that seemed to turn out okay. Very nicely posed figures, I thought, fairly easy to put together, and I'm not great at putting them together. It's not my favourite pastime, but they went together quite well, and as I say, painted up quite well. And I've got some cavalry still to show you. I've got the guys on the I mean, they're a bit cramped on there, to be honest. They should have been spread out a little bit more, but I used the bases that I had, and I could always rebase them, I suppose, but yeah, I mixed up the units a fair bit, thinking that the Louisiana Tigers uniform would not always be widely available, and replacements will be just in standard Confederate garb. Yeah, I managed to get facial detail, bit of shading in there. Quite pleased with that. And as I say, it the overall effect on mass is quite pleasing. You know, the as I say, the Louisiana Tigers, a very colourful unit. You know, probably as colourful as anything that the Union had in zoos, and it was just the trousers were, you know, from the reference material I had, the trousers were quite like almost like needlework. The stripes were very, very thin, and as I say, I tried to go for complicated, and yeah, I got a pleasing tone to them. You know, it's again, to use that expression, it is what it is. It's you know, my best effort anyway, and yeah, pretty much completed the Confederates. I've got some cavalry to still show you, and you know, overall, it was a very pleasant box of soldiers to paint up, and quite reasonable price, if I remember correctly at the time, for two good armies, and you know, cavalry, infantry, and I've added to it subsequently. Yeah, quite happy to have those in the collection, and will at some point add to them again. But yeah, I hope to show you some of the Arab warriors. I did put them out on a video before, but I had a light on and there was a lot of flickering background. It wasn't the best video ever, so I deleted it, and you know, I'm starting to try and get a bit more concerned now about the quality of the video. I'm only using a sort of camera phone, or you know, it's handheld, and it's not the best method ever, but as I say, I'm just trying to get you know, to show them a little bit, and maybe get a tripod or something, and see how that works out, and a bit more light. I think I need a little bit more light. So that's my Confederates anyway, and as I say, I hope to bring some more to the table. Thank you very much. Bye.